Hello everyone, my name is Chloe and today I'm here with a brand new video. Welcome to Brunette Bibliophile, where I post bookish videos and writing content. Today I am here with the next in a secret TBR series that I have been doing off and on for like over a year now. Today we are here with the third installment in my Reading the Alphabet series, where I read a book for every letter of the alphabet on my physical TBR. So we have made it through A, B, C, and D, E, and F. I will link both of those videos in the description below. But today we are reading books starting with the letters G, H, and I. I have not pulled everything that starts with these letters, but I have pulled a select couple to read over the course of this video. So let's see what I will be reading. So for the letter G, I didn't have a lot of options. I only had two, and they are both in the same series. So I just picked the next one I have to read, and I'll be reading Gleam by Raven Kennedy. This is the third book in the Plated Prisoner series. I read the first two over a year ago now, so I will be reading a refresher recap of the first two before diving into this one. But the series is wrapping up later this year, so I definitely want to get caught up so I can read that final book. For the letter H, I have Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. This is her YA debut. She has written some adult books, most notably the Brown Sisters trilogy. But I've heard a lot of good things about this one, and it is very short and a floppy paperback. So I would like to get this one off of my TBR. For the letter I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. This one I actually also have a review audiobook from Libro FM, so I need to listen to this one so I can write my review. This is also Casey McQuiston's young adult debut, so I'm very excited to see if I enjoy this one. I've been struggling with starting this vlog for a multitude of reasons, but the main thing is, like, I have been overwhelmed with various degrees of reading that I need to get done for various reasons, buddy reads, etc. But I have finally started the first book for this vlog. So I've picked up Gleam by Raven Kennedy, which this is the naked hardcover, because this is the dust jacket, and I didn't realize that it was pretty underneath too. But I started this. I did have to read a recap of the first two books because it has been a minute since I have read those books. But after the recap and starting this, it picks up right where it left off. And I'm only about 4 chapters in so far. The final book in this series comes out in December, so I would like the chance to finish this book and the 4th book before the 5th book releases, which is another reason why we like to do these vlogs, because we like to pull books from our shelves that have been sitting there for so long. Now, this one is the only G book I had. It kind of got picked by default, so who knows how long it would have sat if there had been another option. Trying to find a new place to do this update that's not the same spot I always am in. I guess this is as good as it's gonna get. Kind of next to my fall decorations. Finally decorated for fall, and I love it. Got my little gnomes and my leaves. So let's do a little update on Gleam by Raven Kennedy. So I am just over halfway through this. I think my ebook is 55%, and that is page 303 of 560 pages. I'm actually pretty much enjoying this. I do kind of want some things to just hurry up and happen, but there's also 2 more books in this series, and I imagine that a lot of shit is going to go down between now and the end of the series. Honestly, I'm also considering just picking up Glow right after this, depending on how my other reading kind of pans out, because I kind of want to know what's going to happen, and the final book comes out in December, so I might be ready to go by the time it comes out. I don't know. I'm having a good time with this book. I need to go back and see what my ratings were for the first 2. I feel like it was somewhere around like a 3 or a 4 for both of them. So I need to go back and take a look, but I am invested. I wouldn't exactly call this a romantasy. There's definitely romantic elements that are going to be coming in probably more in the later books, but it's definitely a high fantasy. High fantasy? Yeah, it's high fantasy. And it's a take on the King Midas story, and there's just a lot going down with it. So I don't know, I'm having a good time with this one. Wanted to make sure I got a vlog clip while I had makeup on and all this jazz. Trying not to have shadows on my face. There we go. So I'm about 85% of the way through Gleam. I got a lot done yesterday because I had Pages and Pals last night, but a lot of shit has gone down. I definitely think this is a series that like one book picks up right where the last one left off, and I think that's definitely going to happen with the transition between Gleam and Glow. But some crazy shit happened when I was reading last night, and I think I don't really know. I think some wild stuff is going to happen in the last like 5 chapters that I have. So I'm dressed up nice for my 6-year anniversary of dating my husband. We've been married less than a year, but we have been together for 6 years today. So we're gonna go out to eat. And of course, Florida has decided it's gonna rain. And I thought it would be over in 5 minutes. It's been like an hour. So we're gonna try and stay dry when we go out for our nice meal. Good morning, everyone. I finally finished Gleam by Raven Kennedy this morning, very early this morning. I tried to finish it last night. I was getting way too tired. So I fell asleep, woke up, instantly finished it. Only had like 2 chapters left. And wow, that ending was absolutely wild because I had a theory of who the main villain was going to be for the rest of the series. And that theory is wrong, but now I don't know who the villain is going to be for the remainder of the series. I kind of have a little bit of an idea, but I'm not sure if that's correct or not. But wow. This series, for high fantasy, I have actually really enjoyed this series. I've given every single book 4 stars, including this one. I'm not going to immediately pick up the next one, which is Glow, because I have some other stuff on my TBR that I need to get to. But I think I am going to pick it up fairly quickly with the 5th book coming out in December. So yeah, that ending was not what I expected, and I really enjoyed it. 4 stars. So I ended up picking up Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert kind of randomly yesterday. I realized my audiobook was going to expire from the library, and I made it 44% of the way through it before putting it down for the night. It's only 19 chapters, and I'm currently on chapter 10, but they are long chapters. So far I'm enjoying it. I'm not like blown away by it. If I had to rate it now, I'd probably give it a 4, maybe a 3.5. I enjoyed the Brown Sisters trilogy, but this is kind of just okay for me. I'm kind of between like a 3.5 and a 4 right now, but I just still have like half the book, so I'm going to keep reading. I might actually finish it today, depending on how the rest of the day looks. It is already after 4, but the world is our palm tree, and I think I only have like 3.5 hours left in the audiobook. So I finished Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. It's actually about 2 days since the last time I talked to you, and I finally finished it not too long ago. Overall, I'm giving this one 3 stars. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was very just middle of the road for me, which sucks because I've heard a lot of really good things about it. But it wasn't bad. I think it is me growing away from YA. And it sucks because there's a bunch of like adult romance authors who are releasing YA debuts this year and next year. And I'm so excited to read them, but I'm really worried that me falling out of YA is going to hinder my experience. So for this one, I'm just giving it 3 stars. I don't know. I just didn't care enough, but it also kind of felt like all over the place with the amount of issues that were happening, but I recognize that I am not the target age group for this, and I accept it. And now it's time to move on to our final book. Okay, so this is Chloe from editing here. I don't know what happened, if there was like a haze from me being sick or what, but I am definitely missing a clip from talking about I Kissed Char Wheeler. Unfortunately, the only clip that I have for this section is talking about finishing the book. So unfortunately, I can't recreate the moments as I was reading it. So we're just going to listen to me talk about finishing the book, and then you'll get more of my thoughts, I guess, in the final clip wrapping up this whole video. But I don't know what happened. So I actually ended up taking a couple of days off of filming because I got sick. So I don't remember the last thing that I talked to you guys about with this book, but I've finished I Kissed Char Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. I finished it last night, and this kind of wasn't really what I was expecting. I was mostly just expecting a sapphic contemporary romance, But there's kind of like a little bit of a mystery element because basically Shara Wheeler kisses Chloe, this is the first time I think I've shared a name with a main character, which is really weird to me, but it is what it is. It's a very common name. Anyway, they share a kiss, and then Shara disappears. And it's basically the mystery of where did Shara Wheeler go? And her dad is like the principal of the school, and even he's like not even phased. And Chloe and Rory, who is Shara's neighbor, and Smith, who is her boyfriend, begin getting these letters, and they have to find out where she is. So the bulk of it is actually like a mystery element, and the kind of romance doesn't even come until like the last like 100 to 50 pages. So for this one, overall, I am giving it 3 stars. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was just okay for me. I think I'm mostly interested in Casey McQuiston's adult books, but this was interesting to read for her first young adult. All right, so this video has been a long time coming because I've been planning this video for months and it just kept getting pushed and getting pushed and getting pushed. I originally had a plan of reading more than one book for each letter, but time was getting crunched and this is the product that we have come up with. So we're just going to talk about my final thoughts on the 3 books that I read during the course of this vlog. I had a win and I had some meh, I don't want to call them losses, but they weren't that great. So let's talk about my win, which was Gleam by Raven Kennedy. This is the 3rd book in the Plated Prisoner series, which is a take on the story of King Midas. And I really enjoy this series. I started it at a time where I wasn't really into like the dark romance or smut or romantasy or anything like that. But now I am that person and I really enjoyed this book. I give it 4 stars. I've also given the other 2 4 stars as well. I did go back and check, but I am very excited to see where the rest of the series goes. The final book is coming out in December and I only have 1 more book to read before being able to read the final book. So hopefully I will be prepared for the December release date, but I definitely think I want to check out some of Raven Kennedy's other things that she's released before. She's also been doing heavy promotion on her Cupidity series right now, so I need to look into all of that, but I really enjoyed this one. 4 stars. I definitely want to see where the rest of the series takes us. Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute by Talia Hibbert. This book had a lot of hype, and unfortunately, I gave it 3 stars. As I talked about earlier, I am growing out of young adult. I have been for a while, I think, and a lot of authors that I like who write adult romance are writing their young adult debuts, and this is the perfect example of one. And while I enjoyed the Brown Sisters trilogy, and I was really excited because this book had a lot of hype, ultimately it just was not for me. I think there were a lot of storylines going on or plot lines in this book, and ultimately I just felt okay about it and I gave it 3 stars. I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. This is an interesting book to discuss for me, particularly with Casey McQuiston. I feel like for me personally, her books have kind of just gone downhill for me. Not in necessarily a bad way, but more in like a ranking of how I feel about them. So Red, White, and Royal Blue, really enjoyed that. I loved it. One Last Stop, I enjoyed it. It was okay, but it wasn't like my favorite, like how I enjoyed Red, White, and Royal Blue. I Kissed Shara Wheeler is another one of those young adult debuts. Enjoyed the adult romance books. But ultimately, this one was also just okay for me, and I rated it 3 stars. It definitely didn't go in a direction that I expected. We do get a little bit of a mystery element with all these letters and trying to figure out where Shara Wheeler disappeared to. Not in like a murder mystery vibe, not in that way, because it's still very light. So I am still going to be trying Casey McQuiston's new work, whatever she releases next, right now with the Red, White, and Royal Blue movie. That's definitely like the peak of popularity right now. Ultimately, this one is a 3 star, but I'm definitely interested in seeing what else she releases. And it's the same thing with Talia Hibbert. I definitely want to go back and look at some other books that are getting repackaged and re-released. But YA, probably not if she releases anything else. So this is everything that I read during the alphabet vlog of reading books that start with G, H, and I. Like I said, I had a lot more plans for this video, but I am still happy with how it's rounding out in the end. But that is all I have for this vlog video today. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it.
As always, if you like what you see here, please go ahead and click subscribe. I post new videos every week, so click subscribe so you can be updated for when I post those. Thank you all so much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!
In the darkness, I don't